Hello friends! Welcome back to Science with me. My name is Dr. Erica and I am so excited that you are joining us. We are in the middle of our DIY Games Week, so I hope that you brought your maker hat and you're ready to think creatively and build creatively and get back up when things don't quite work. Now last week we had some really cool projects. We made a pinball machine and I loved seeing everyone's ideas. We had ramps, we had rubber band things, we had holes for goals, we had point systems. It was pretty amazing. And today we are going to build off of that idea of moving balls, and we are going to make a soccer ball stadium that we control with our breath. So this is a game, we're filming this in the times of COVID, so this is a game that you need to play just with your family because we'd have to be breathing through straws. But when COVID's over, you can invite your friends over and you guys can all play together. It'll be a ton of fun. And you can create your stadium for whatever team you want. You'll get to decorate it. It's gonna be a lot of good times. Just a quick reminder, if you're new, make sure you click subscribe to our YouTube channel so you don't miss our fun activities. And you can always support us at patreon.com/rosieresearch. Next week, we're going to be taking the week off for Thanksgiving break. I will send you guys an email with some activities that you can do if you're bored and you want to do something fun. And then we will get into our Nobel Prize winning science. We have 2 weeks of amazing projects where we can learn all about some of the Nobel Prizes that have been won recently. And after that, we'll have 2 weeks of art made possible by science. It'll be a lot of fun. All right, so for what we need today, we need a cereal box. Hopefully you guys have a few of these on hand because we need them all week. You're gonna need a pair of scissors for cutting. I've got some popsicle sticks. If you don't have popsicle sticks, go check your recycling bin for something you could make a goal out of. All right, we're gonna make our goal out of just some popsicle sticks. I've got a hot glue gun and some glue. You can, of course, make all of these projects with regular glue. It just takes a lot more time. You'll need 2 straws, or if you have a bigger family and you guys want to play on teams, you just need 1 straw per person. And then a very light ball. I'm using a ping pong ball. If you don't have a ping pong ball, you can search for something that's sort of light for the size. So not very dense is a way that we can say that. All right, so let's get building. This is going to be our soccer stadium. And what we're going to do first is we're actually just going to cut this out so that we have some walls that will keep our balls in the soccer stadium, but we can still access the stadium. So I'm just going to use my scissors and I'm going to cut off this top panel for my soccer stadium. And I would love to hear some of your favorite soccer teams. In the Seattle we have, I think it's, well, the Seattle Storm is, Sounders. Well, the Sounders. I'm thinking of the women. Is there an all-women soccer team? I think the Storm is basketball. Clearly, I follow a lot of sports, my friends. But I know that we have one friend out there who loves soccer, Miss Lila. So I'm excited to see what team she picks to make. All right, so I've cut this part off. I'm actually going to take this flap off so that I can make a nice edge on my soccer stadium on the top once I glue my thing together. So I'm really just taking off that top face of my Rice Krispies. And you can save this so that you can make advertising signs or some sort of stadium benches or a scoreboard, all sorts of things you can do. So now I have this, and you might be saying, Dr. Erica, this does not look ideal. And you would be right. So what I'm going to do to make it a little more ideal is I'm going to glue these pieces, and I'm going to glue this piece here so that you see that I have this nice edge all around the box and I can play my soccer game inside of here. Now, if you have a bigger box, you could make a bigger soccer stadium, which could be more fun. You could also think about how you could make a tabletop version. Maybe you make something where sides fold out to a table that you have at your house to use all the time, and you have goals that you place on the table. Maybe that's what you want to make today instead of it just in a cereal box. And then you could play with like a huge space. That could be really fun too. There's all sorts of ways to make things, and usually there's no one right way. All right, so I have this glued. I'm actually going to add a little glue down over on this side too, just to make sure it's in there nicely. I would hate to get this all built and then have it just break apart really easily. Now, if you are finding you have this, but you don't like how like some of your corners are, one thing I've done in the past to really secure that is you can put little beads of glue right in sort of these creases if you want it to be really sturdy. But for me, I think this is all right. All right, so it wouldn't be soccer if we didn't have some goals. All right, you can decide how big your goals are going to be. They will need to fit your ball through them. So I'm actually gonna just try to cut these one of these right in half. I'll cut two. We lost one. That's okay, because I can actually make now these the same size. Just like that. So I have these two pieces that I'm going to use as my goals. I'm going to put the flat side down so that it can go in a little easier. And I just want to make sure, I'm going to double check that if I glue these together and it's down, that the ball can roll through. Okay? Make sure that whatever ball you're using, you test it, because if you make it too small, then your ball, nobody can score a goal. And that would be no fun. And if it's too big, maybe it just feels too clunky. I kind of like the idea of this all sort of fitting in together. All right, so I'm just gonna put little bits of glue here and make this just like that. The beautiful thing about hot glue is it dries really, really quickly, so you can keep building with this piece almost immediately. All right, what I'm gonna do, I think, sometimes it's a little bit tricky to get things glued in straight up and down, but we're gonna give it a try. I'm gonna put this sort of right here. I'm gonna put it kind of far back so I have a little bit more playing field, with the idea that if it hits this, then that'll tell me it scored. I'll have like an auditory signal that it scored, which I think it'll be good. So I'm gonna put a bunch of glue here. It's dripping down the sides, but once I flip it over, it'll kind of drip back down. And I'm gonna center it as best as I can. And then we just want to wait and hold it there. If you're using hot glue to stick something straight up and down, it's really important to practice that patience, which is so hard because we really want the glue to just be solid and hard and you can take your fingers away. But if it's mostly solid, kind of there, and then you take it away, it'll start to sort of tilt over ever so slightly. And once it starts tilting, then you move it back, and it just never glues as well. So you really gotta just wait that one piece out. And what you can do during this time is brainstorm what you're gonna do to decorate your soccer field. Maybe you have some construction paper that's green that you wanna add to the bottom so that you'll have some grass. Maybe you have favorite advertisers for your soccer games. Maybe you wanna sell advertising spaces to your family and they can advertise their names or a drawing of theirs, which I think would be so much fun. There's a lot of options for that. And then let's see. It's getting there. I still have to be a little bit more patient, which is always tricky, especially on a live show when you just want to go on to the next thing. But we're going to be a little bit patient here and make sure that we get this all the way. Maybe you'll do a World Cup stadium. You could decorate it with the colors of your favorite team. You could print out things like the crest of your favorite team. Maybe if you're going to put a scoreboard up, you want to put those really cool introductions that they have for soccer players, and you print out your favorite soccer player and their number, which could be pretty great. All right, so I have this piece. I just glued it straight in, and I just held it there while the glue dried, and it's pretty stiff at this point. So now I need to make a second goal, because it would not be much fun to play soccer if only one team can score, you know? All right, ooh, I cut that almost dead even. So now I've got to make my other goal. And I'll do the same thing. I'm just going to put a little bit of glue on the top of each of these goals. Again, I'm using the flat piece to glue into my cardboard box, which I think will really help the stability because it just has more wood that will be touching the bottom, so it's more stable. There's more stuff to hold on to for that glue. So here's my second one. And we will do the same thing. We're gonna just glue it on in and hold it and wait. And instead of doing that live with you guys, I'm gonna do that in our Zoom room so I can see people's projects. But the way that this game is played is you have your soccer ball and you would put your soccer ball inside the stadium. Thankfully, inside the stadium, the ball can't escape. Now, your brother or your sister, your mom or your dad or somebody in your family will have this straw and they're going for the goal towards you. You're gonna go for the goal, the other goal, but you'll end up going all over the place and it'll be really fun. So as you can see, we just blow through the straw and we'll blow our ping pong ball or soccer ball off somewhere fun, and then that will help you guys try to score, but you can play offense or defense, which will be a lot of fun. So I just want to say thank you guys so much for joining us as we made this fun soccer stadium. I can't wait to see you guys in Zoom and talk it up and see what sort of things you guys are going to make for your soccer stadium. Tomorrow we will be doing basketball, which will be a fun little project, and then we'll wrap up our game week with some foosball. All right, friends, we will see you tomorrow, and I'll see our other friends in Zoom right now. Have a great day.